So, rape victims are routinely punished for reporting rape. It happens in every single institution. Let's talk about it. If you've watched the documentaries that I suggested in an earlier video, then you've already seen some of the examples. There are many horrific cases in which a victim goes to the police to report being assaulted and instead finds herself being investigated for a crime. And the crime is lying. This happens in almost every single case, actually. Routinely, rape victims are treated like suspects instead of the people who raped them being treated like suspects. Routinely, the police investigate the victim instead of investigating the person who raped them. But there are many unfortunate cases where that investigation goes too far, and the police convict the women who reported the assault, claiming that they falsified their report. So that is one way victims are punished. Another way victims are punished. We saw in the documentary The Hunting Ground how when victims report assault on college campuses, it's actually the victims who are punished instead of the men who raped them. It's the victims who are disciplined. It's the victims who are suspended. It's the victims who are forced to move into a different dormitory or to a different campus. In the documentary about rape in the military called The Invisible War, we saw again how the victims reporting assault were the ones who were punished. Nothing happened to their perpetrators, but victims were routinely punished and even given threats of bodily harm or death threats. This doesn't just happen on campuses or in the military. It happens in most cases of sexual assault. We see it routinely where victims are harassed and threatened online. There are entire websites that are dedicated to doxing rape victims that come up with these elaborate stories claiming that they made up their assault. When someone is raped, the perpetrator has taken the power away from them. When that victim goes to a higher authority, like the police, they are looking to take that power back. And when they are dismissed, not believed, called a liar, and have their pain minimized, that is taking more power away from the victim. The people who are supposed to protect the victim have now become part of the threat because they are condoning the behavior of the rapist. Then the victim has to deal with not only the fact that they were victimized by the rapist, but that they live in a society that condones his behavior, that will not hold him accountable, and will instead reverse the roles of victim offender and make her feel like the criminal instead. That is devastating. That is life-ending. That will make someone's entire world crumble. Not only were you betrayed by the person who you trusted, who raped you, but you are now betrayed by your entire society. And the realization that this is happening to all other victims does not make it any better. That makes it worse. Because then your heart is breaking, not just for your own assault, but for the assaults of all the other women. And the fact that you know that their rapists are continuing to rape. And you feel completely powerless. That is devastating on a level that is difficult to comprehend for someone who hasn't gone through it. This is why victims end their lives. It's not just the rape itself. It is primarily the betrayal of being raped and then not given justice. This is how rape victims are punished. They're raped and then they're punished for being raped. Once someone is raped, every choice she makes is the wrong one, whether it's to report or to not report. If she doesn't report, then she lets a rapist loose. Then he's free to continue assaulting other women. If she reports, then she's re-victimized to such a degree that she wants to take her own life. Rape victims can never make the right choice because there isn't one. All of their choices are the wrong choice.